We made it through the winter, you know the one, when my mother died. We made it to November, when we watched the light leave your father's eye.
Sharna Burcher has a new single out. It's called The Hardest Parts, and Sharna joins us now. Sharna, congratulations on the single. This is a pretty cool sounding country song.
Thank you. I'm so happy with how this song came out. One of those ones that you write and you're not sure about it, and then, you get into the recording studio and it turns out like that. I'm so happy with it.
Share with us the process of writing this song.
So I wrote this one a couple of years ago now. I lost my mum a few years ago, and then not quite 2 years after that, my partner lost his mum and his dad in the same year. It was quite a hard time for us. It was emotional, and, we're both sort of grieving for different things but the same thing, and it was a bit tough. So about a year after that, I sat down and wrote this song, and I think it was one of those songs that, I didn't mean to write it. It would just sort of come out. It was a bit of therapy, I think, for me at the time. I think it was one of those ones that I needed to write. I needed to get it out. And then when I did, it was like, oh, do I really want to share that with people? Do I want them to know that much? I'm so glad that I took it to the studio and we recorded it.
Was what you'd had in your mind and the finished product the same?
A few little tweaks that came, I guess, with the studio version. And I think there's songs that always happens too, that, you have it in your head and then you go into the studio and someone else has a different idea of what it could be, which is the fun of the studio and the fun of getting to play with these amazing musicians. They all have their own ideas and a sound in their head when they hear a song. I love hearing those those ideas that they have, and this song was one of those songs where someone else had a different idea and we tried that, and then I loved it. Yeah.
You're not a control freak?
I don't have many rules in the studio. Well, I have one rule. I don't want to sound pop, but that's about the only thing. I sort of give full rein to my producer, and if someone's got an idea about a song, then by all means, let me know. And, so I'm not a control freak. I love that artistic side though. You go in and you get to play with these amazing musicians and they're all artistic, and I love bouncing stuff off everybody and getting to know what they think. I really like that process.
So do the musicians get a fair chance to listen to this first?
Well, these guys didn't.
Okay.
Me and my producer sat down a few days before and went through the songs, and we had the charts already. When I was going through my songs for this album, I just sat down, I recorded a heap of them just on my phone with me and my guitar, sent them through to my producer, and those on the day in the studio, that's what I played to the guys in the studio, that recorded version that I'd just done on my phone. And that was the first time they heard the song, and they heard the song once and then we recorded.
Isn't that brilliant? You just love talented people, don't you?
They were amazing. I was so lucky to have the band that I did in the studio.
So what next for Sharna Burcher?
So I've got one more single coming out at the end of the year, and then the album in November. So I'm very excited to get this album out.
It sounds like that's a culmination of a lot of hard work.
Yes. I guess it's, all hard work. As soon as you write a song and then you decide you're going to go into the studio, it's all work, but it's all worth it.
We're going to play the single now. It's called The Hardest Parts. If you want to keep up with Sharna, you can do it through all the social medias. It's Sharna, Sharna. This is Sharna Burcher and The Hardest Parts.
We made it